Hello and welcome to Three Questions with. Got my friend Lisa Swanson. Lisa is the owner of Body and Soul Coaching. She is a health coach. Lisa, welcome to the show this morning.
Oh, thank you so much, Kevin. I'm so happy to be here today.
Lisa, I asked you to come on the show today because I have a few questions. Most of us are trying to lose weight, but there seems to always be something holding us back. So if I could ask you, what is you see as the biggest mistake we make? What do you think would be number one on the list?
Believe it or not, number one on the list actually begins before the nutrition and the fitness even start with it. It's not taking the time out to actually figure out where you're starting from. And a lot of programs miss this part. This is step one, actually, in my programs. I always start with discovering your unique starting point. So everyone thinks that they just want to get to it, right? Everybody wants to lose the weight yesterday. It's like, let me get to it. Give me the diet, give me the workouts. I'm just going to jump in. But the problem is they don't take the time to actually think about, all right, where am I starting from? How much am I eating? What am I doing for exercises before they get going? So I always tell people, before you do anything, start tracking where you are now, like record your food every single day and see, okay, how many calories am I taking in? How many carbs am I getting? How much protein am I getting? Before you start cutting things out, take note to look at where am I? Because some people will say, oh, I need to go to 1,200 calories a day. Well, if you're eating 3,000 calories a day and you go to 1,200 calories, that's going to be really hard, right? Yeah, that is going to be a really bad day. You're going to be suffering. Or on the other hand, a lot of people undereat, right? Because they've been dieting for so long, they may be eating only 800 calories a day. And if I went and just put them on 1,200 calories a day, they're going to gain weight. Even though that's not a lot of food, their body's going to look at it like it's a lot of food. So they need to make sure that just nutritionally, that's what I'm going to do. See, where am I at? So I know what do I need to do. Stop being a detective in your own nutrition. But the other part of that is, so you've got that part, that's your here I am, right? If you're looking at a roadmap, you're gonna need to where you're starting from, right? And then you got to look at the other end of it and say, okay, where am I getting to? And you need to be specific. And a lot of people are much too vague about that. They'll just say, well, I want to lose some weight, instead of saying, I want to lose X amount of pounds by this time, and those SMART goals that we've all heard about, right? So you need to have both ends of that and not be vague about it. And I think a lot of people also don't even realize what they're doing. I'll have people sign up with me, or before they sign up with me, and they'll say, oh, you know what? My eating's just fine. I don't have to worry about my eating. I just need to exercise more. And they're not even aware that, well, it's actually not fine. You're eating way too many carbs for your activity level, right? So those assumptions in the beginning, cut those out by getting your facts together. And then on the other end, knowing exactly where you want to get to, and then making sure that you're not looking for that perfect diet. That is a huge mistake that people make.
So Lisa, could you make life easier for all of us and just tell us today, right now, what is the perfect diet? I don't want to hear about all these different things. Just give me the perfect one so I can just move on with my day.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yeah, it would be, like I said, I don't want to research it. I don't want you to tell me which one this person is doing. I want you today to just answer that question for me. Life would be good, right? No such
Life
thing,
would be wonderful. Right? All right, so I'm going to try to do this without confusing you. All right, so first I'm going to say, you know what? They all work. They all work, which is a crazy thing to say, right? But they're actually all designed to work if you follow them, right? So any diet you look at, whether it's keto or intermittent fasting or paleo, or like I'm vegan, vegetarian, whatever it is you're going to follow, they're designed to work if you follow them, because they bring you into a caloric deficit, or they're omitting a food, like they're taking all your carbs out. Now, this is where the problem lies with each of them and why they don't work. So there's two things that are happening. One is they're not sustainable. They're not meant to be followed long-term. We can't continue to be in that deficit. But this is what happens, right? People don't know how to work their way out of them. And then they always give the diet credit, and then they blame themselves. So what I mean by that is they'll say, wow, I was on this great diet, right? I did the point system, or I did intermittent fasting. I lost great weight, and a lot of weight, and they stop the diet and they say, wow, this is a great diet. And then as time goes on, they can't follow it. So they start to gain weight. They don't say, wow, this diet isn't sustainable. They don't ever say that. They just say, wow, I really suck. I can't follow this. I need to try harder. Right. So it's that blaming themselves, and what they really need, it's going back to that figuring out where you are and what's sustainable for you. How many calories does your body need, and balancing it, balancing out your plate. How many calories do you need? By balancing your plate, it's like, what are the macros that are right for you? So it takes some detective work. I really wish I had this simple equation to give you and say, this is it, Kevin. I'm going to give you these macros and you're set for life, because you won't be. You won't be, because it's going to change. You're going to find it, and then you're going to change your body over time. You're either going to lose weight, you're going to gain muscle, or you're getting older. And those three things right there are going to change what you need moving forward. So the best thing that you can do is learn to be a detective, so that you can then change it as you need to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it definitely does. Okay. So we figured out, what we're eating, how many calories we're taking in. Is there a third step? Is that all I need to do?
Again, that would be great. And so I think the obvious answer here would be, no, you need to exercise too, which is true. You do need to exercise. You need to exercise smarter, not harder, especially as we get old. As you know, I do focus on women over 50, and women over 50 tend to do way too much cardio. I think if I was going to say anything about workouts, it's make sure you're not doing too much cardio, because that's not the answer to getting lean. The answer to getting lean is lifting weights, and lifting heavy weights. And but that's only part of the equation. The other part of the equation, which I see a lot of people struggle in, is getting rid of the roadblocks that are in their head. I have had clients come in and say, they'll say, look, I want to lose 50 pounds, 60 pounds, 80 pounds. But inside they're believing, I can only lose 10 pounds, right? That's because that's what their past has shown them. So if you have that belief in your head that you can only lose 10 pounds, guess what? You're only going to lose 10 pounds. Because when you get to that mark where you have failed in the past, your brain starts doing little things to you to make you self-sabotage. All of a sudden, you're not working out as much, or you're sneaking in little cheat meals, for lack of a better term, right? All these little things you start doing without even realizing it. And then you're back to gaining weight, right? Or you just lost 10 pounds and you just confirmed, see, I told you I can only lose 10 pounds. So a big part of it, what people are missing, is to take some time to dig into that mindset. What's going on in your head? What are your actual beliefs, what you believe that you can and cannot accomplish, so that we can start getting rid of that. And when we open those up and start creating confidence and building up a system with your brain, because it's a little bit separate, believe it or not, from yourself. When you start building up that confidence, you can move forward and pass those roadblocks, and then people start seeing amazing results.
So Lisa, what's the best way for people to reach out to you and learn more?
Best way would say I'm on Instagram at Lisa Swanson Fit, and I'm also on Facebook at Lisa Swanson Fit. And I do have a private Facebook group. If anybody wants to reach out to me, I have a private Facebook group for women over 50 who are looking to lose weight.
Awesome, Lisa. I really appreciate taking a few minutes to call on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
All right. So happy to be here. Thanks, Kevin.